this is the thing for my wall. Went to pick it up. It came. Once I picked it up, I didn't use it or anything. It's just been sitting there. So I'm going to finish the wallpaper. This is the wallpaper that came for the wall. All right. Yeah. This is the wallpaper that came for the wall. The bandits are sitting on here. All right. So you have to be careful. They're all sitting on here watching me. They come and watch me religiously every day. So yes, I have to protect my privacy at all costs. Right? Right. Some crazy people are on this app. Some cuckoo cacas are on this app. Okay? They're on Facebook and they're also on YouTube. All right. Good morning to everybody over there on YouTube. Good morning to everybody over here. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising, darlings. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. So this is it right here. All right. I'm going to put it on the wall. All right. I'm going to put it on the wall. And it rolls out like this. And I'm going to add it to my wall in a minute. In the missing spots. So as you can see right there, I ran out of paper right there behind me. And I ran out of paper up there above me. I ran out of paper up here. So I ran out of paper. So I have to buy a whole roll. I can't just buy a little piece. I have to buy a whole roll to put it there and there. Yes. All right. So when I get a chance, I just open it, went to pick it up and just opened it here and stuff like that, getting my day started. So pretty much the topic, as you can see, guys, is why the lies. That's the topic. Why the lies? Why the lies? That's the topic today. Why the lies? Now, a lot of you might be wondering why I started with that topic. There's a reason, right? Whenever I keep these shows, I keep finding things out that are just like, you know, and it even opens up a bigger Pandora box because in my head, you know, I can't figure it out. But I guess that's their madness. So it's not for me to figure it out because it's not my madness. It's their madness. Right? So with that said, you know, but it's still puzzling. It's still puzzling nonetheless because I want to know why the lies. Come on in, guys. As you're coming over on YouTube, please click the thumbs up as you're coming over on YouTube. Click the thumbs up button as you're coming over on YouTube, right? Click the thumbs up button as you're coming over on YouTube, all right? As you're coming over on YouTube, click the thumbs up button, all right? Yes, as you're coming over on YouTube, click the thumbs up button. Come on over, all right, and let's sit down and talk this morning. Let me clean my lens. Why my lens looks so foggy? Okay, this is better. This is much better. Why the lies? That's the topic. I am going to end my Facebook Live so that you guys can come on over here on YouTube, right? Come on over. I guess everybody's got work, which is understandable. You know, people got work to go to and stuff like that, which is understandable. That's what we do. We work, right? We're not about sitting down every day and just waiting for handouts. We got to get up and work. Even what I'm doing right now is work. So while the season is slow as far as cakes are concerned, I can just come and do this in my spare time. I am still putting in hours. I'm still doing work behind the scenes. So I said, you know what? Let me just go on YouTube and exercise my brain. You know, because when it gets slow like this, if you're not careful, you kind of sink into laziness, and you don't want to sink into laziness. You got to always keep yourself busy. Always keep yourself busy, right? To not sink into laziness. Always keep yourself busy. All right. So this morning, I'm waiting for more people to come on the live. I'm waiting for more people to come on the live before I start. Good morning, ranchers. Good morning, everyone. So this morning, Tammy Fay. Let's start with Tammy Fay. Tammy Fay, Tammy Fay, Tammy Fay. Boy, oh boy, Tammy Fay. For somebody who likes to do shit behind the scenes, you're a really ugly person inside and out. Tammy Fay is such a ugly little bitch. And I'm not going to filter my thoughts. I'm not going to filter my words, and I'm not going to filter my thoughts. Tammy Faye, you are a dirty, nasty, ugly, boy, girl looking bitch. You got some big hands, some big feet, and you look like a blood clot alien in a real life. Tammy Faye, you are a nasty looking, ugly looking, hair in your chins, hair in your on your mustache, male testosterone mixed with female testosterone looking bitch. That's what you are, Tammy Faye. You are a dirty bitch, Tammy Faye. All right. Tammy Faye yesterday put up something, right, on her page, because I don't really watch her page. Honestly, I don't. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know who Tammy Faye is. I didn't care to know who Tammy Faye is. Now, if you don't already know, give me a second. Let me share it to my other page. Hold on, guys. Let me share it to my other page. As you're coming in, like up the live, guys. Good morning, guys. Hi, Bernadette. Long time don't see you on my page. Nice to see you, though, Bernadette. It's really nice to see you. Right? Tammy Fay, Tammy Fay. Right? Now, I had a situation with Tammy Fay roughly about 2 or 3 weeks ago. About a month ago, I had a situation with Tammy Fay. Was it a month? I think it was a month. Tammy the tampon. Tammy the tampon. Right? About a month ago, I had a situation with Tammy the tampon. Tammy scammer Tammy, Tammy, Tammy. Now, I know some of you have visited my page before and you heard me making reference to Tammy Fay, Tammy Scammer, whatever she calls herself, right? I remember some weeks ago, she had reported her picture on my YouTube channel. She reported her picture in my community post on my YouTube channel. And when I saw a copy of the report, I saw her, I don't know if that's a fake name or whatever, but I saw her name Tamika in the report. Yes, she has a name Tamika on the report, right? I'm going to have to look at the report again to see her full name. But the funny thing about Tammy Faye, Scammer Tammy, is that she likes to stay behind the scenes, very quiet, sounding quiet type of person. And most of the dirty work that you see going on here on social media comes from her, Tammy Faye. Oh yes, most of the dirty work. What Tammy Faye does is she keeps her identity. She tried keeping her identity quiet. Yeah, she tried to keep her identity a secret while she does her little dirty deeds on social media, on YouTube, and also on Facebook. Now, if you've noticed during their entire 5 years of scamming poor people, most of you never knew what Tammy Faye looked like. I am the one who pretty much, well, I have shown you what Tammy Faye looked like before in the past, but back then she was poor. She was broke, right? So she looked really like a little boy, a tough, unkept boy, right? Her hair wasn't groomed. She had no jewelry on. Life for her was really shitty, very shitty based on the pictures that I saw. Now, fast forward, Tammy Faye is now wearing jewelry. She's wearing this. She's wearing that. You know what I mean? You can see the flashiness in Tammy Faye now. And this came from her benefiting hugely from people's donations that were sent to her account over there in the UK. Yes, she doesn't want, tall one, she doesn't want her identity to be released because over the 5 years she has stolen a lot of money from donors of the scam regime, right? A lot of money, thousands of dollars. One memorable fundraiser was that of Ratty's children. Ratty, Ratty, the mom had passed away from an illness, and she died leaving, I think, a few kids. I don't remember how many kids she died leaving in Mountain View, but she died leaving a number of kids. Now, one thing I gotta remind you of is, right, the mom, the same mom who passed away from her illness, I think she passed away during COVID, right? She passed away from her illness. But prior to her, I think a few months or maybe a few weeks or something like that, prior to her passing away from her illness, she did go to 99 for assistance. Yes, she went to Donna for assistance, and Donna pretty much, I don't even want to say. Okay. Now, back then, and she still is, she had an issue with women who had kids and didn't have any fathers around. You know, back home in Jamaica, there are a lot of single parents. A lot of mothers back home without fathers for their kids, unfortunately. And because it's just life, you know. And Ratty was no different. She had a number of kids, and she didn't have really their fathers in their lives. So she was a struggling single parent. As a result of her being a struggling single parent, you know, she heard about the supposed good deed program that was ran by 99. So, of course, like any needy person would do, she reached out to 99 for help. When she went to 99, she wasn't received wholeheartedly. No, she wasn't. And pretty much 99, in her usual fashion, questioned Ratty's ability to have kids, and why she had kids, and why she had all these kids if she can't feed them. You know, the whole shebang. You know how 99 likes to embarrass people on social media. Well, that's what she did to Ratty. Ratty was no different. She likes to embarrass single mothers. It's just what she's known for. But the topic ain't really about 99 this morning. So she didn't really help Ratty the way Ratty wanted the help. You understand what I'm saying? Good morning. Good morning, everyone coming in. She didn't really help Ratty the way she's supposed to be helping Ratty, right? Or what Ratty expected, you know. I think she only gave her a few bucks, Jamaican currency, whatever. You know, she only gave her like a few $1,000s, which probably works out to maybe 100 US or maybe more. I don't know. But she just kind of gave her some money and sent her on her way. It wasn't anything much to write home about. It might have been able to buy groceries. It might have been able to just buy her medication. But she wasn't, 99 wasn't in the business of helping single parents as much, right? Okay. Ratty eventually passed away a few weeks later. Shortly after Ratty went to 99 for help, she passed away. She died. Now, this is when 99 came in. 99 came in and she rushed in and did a huge fundraiser for the woman, the same woman she did not want to help while she was alive. She rushed in and did a big fundraiser for this lady. Big fundraiser for this lady. And she raised millions and millions and millions of dollars. Right? 99 raised millions and millions and millions of dollars for Ratty, the deceased mom, and her children. Some of that money went to Tammy Fay. The same Tammy Fay who doesn't like when her identity is out there. She has privacy concerns, according to Tammy. Yes, she has privacy concerns. So she doesn't like it when her identity is out there. I don't know. I guess she is some top. I guess she's some top CIA person. I don't know. She behaves like she's a top CIA official or whatever the situation is. But she doesn't like it when her identity is out there. So, but regardless, let's go back. Tammy Fay raised thousands and thousands of dollars on behalf of Ratty's kids. Yes. Approximately 20,000 pounds was donated into Tammy Fay's bank account for Ratty's kids. Now they ran a big marathon for Ratty's kids, a huge marathon. Some of the money went to Tammy Fay, and some of the money went to Jamaica. and some of the money went into somebody else's US account. So there were different points where monies were donated into accounts for Ratty's kids. UK, America, and Jamaica, right? Jamaica, the monies went into bank accounts in Jamaica or a bank account, and it also went through Western Union. Okay, that was a big transmittal hub for monies going into Jamaica. Tammy Fay, who is the UK contact for their group, the Planka Nation, she ended up collecting roughly about £20,000 off the heads of Ratty and her children. £20,000 off their heads. Okay? £20,000 off Ratty and her kids. £20,000. Now, how much of that money went to Ratty's kids, we don't know. Okay, we don't know because there wasn't any transparency taking place at all. You just know that millions of dollars were donated. You just know that they presented a case on social media to rest on the hearts of people. And people would then dip into their pockets and send thousands and thousands and millions in Jamaican currency down to Mountain View to Donna. There was no transparency. No one got to see how much money was earned or raised. No one got to see how much money went to steel. No one got to see how much money went to cement. No one got to see how much money went to tiles. No one got to see how much money was placed in a bank account for these children's future to ensure their care. No one got to see. Thousands and thousands of pounds, thousands and thousands of US currency was donated to multiple accounts. The only thing we saw was people buying big Benz, big BMWs, building big houses for themselves. And in this case, Tammy Fay got real flashy over the years. I am still searching for that picture of Tammy Fay when she was a boy. I'm still searching for that 2018, that 2019 picture I found of her when she was a boy. Because Tammy Fay has been a troll for a long, long time. And from what I know of Tammy Fay, yes, she's a boy. And what I know of Tammy Fay, as you're coming in, click the thumbs up. What I know of Tammy Fay is that Tammy, right? She has been around on social media for a while, going around from platform to platform to platform, right? So she attaches herself to anyone deemed popular on social media, right? Yes. What I need to point out to you guys, there's something important I need to point out to you guys, right? These people on social media, they don't have to know you to have something against you. No, they don't have to know you to have a vendetta against you. It's just who they are. It's just what the internet breeds. What I need you, my followers, to know is if you see anyone out there speaking in a derogatory manner about me, chances are they don't know me. They don't know me. Let me repeat. If you do see anyone out there speaking in a derogatory manner about me, they don't know me. If you see, yeah, they don't know me. So once you hear it, just, if you do buck up in any one of them content there, just keep it scrolling. Don't sit there and have that, don't have that persuade your thoughts or your perception. Just keep it scrolling. They don't know me. Right? Tall One said, people who have been following this chariot tricks from day one will get it. The newcomers are now jumping in with no idea from the beginning of the interception of the scamming scheme. No, they don't. They don't. And this is why whenever they come below my status, I block them. They don't know a lot of what's going on social media, and they contribute it to, they think it's jealousy, they think it's this, they think it's that, but it's just so far from the truth. They don't want to see the truth because the truth will shock them. Right? Right? So, Tammy Fay, they're jumping in jumping on the bandwagon for a few bucks. So Tammy Faye collected 20,000 pounds. And back then, they had scam after scam. They were moving pretty quickly. They didn't waste time. It wasn't just one scam. They ran scam after scam after scam. Every day was a scam. Every day was a scam. Literally every day was a scam. And this was during COVID. Every day. So they were moving quickly to get as much money as they want out of people, as they wanted out of people. They were moving, they had a plan. Tammy Faye had a plan because she was the one behind it. She was moving very quickly to get as much money as she can out of the people. Right? Give me a second. Moving as quickly to get as much chemo as she chemo to get as much money as she wanted out of people. All right. Now, with that said, once she got the monies, her life changed. Right? Her life exactly loved God. This is why people need to keep putting the memories out there so that we are reminded of the big scam that Tammy Faye and Donna Gow got away with. Right? Now, Tammy Faye collected 20,000 pounds. There was no transparency as far as where these monies went. And how we know she collected 20,000 pounds is because she put it out there that she collected 20,000 pounds as if she's trying to show transparency. Okay, we saw how much money you collected, but what did you use it to do? Where is it? Where did it go? How much of it did you collect? Right? Because it's one thing about doing good deeds for people, but we all know that you don't work for free. You do not work for free. Neither does Donna Gow. Donna Gow does not work for free. So how much of that money, Donna Gow, did you get? How much? How much of that money did you get, Donna Gow? Tammy Faye, how much of Ratty's money out of the 20,000 pounds, which works out to roughly about 30,000 US dollars, how much of that did you pocket? Because there's no one on this earth, unless you are a charitable organization, you are not going to do these things for free. But that's the perception you gave people, you, Tammy Faye. You gave people that you were doing this for free and you had a big heart and blah, blah, blah. That's what you were doing. You were telling people, you were acting like you were doing it for free. And I think that's the issue that the public have a problem with, right? You are a scammer. And you were very much behind a lot of what was going on. Good morning, Freddie. Good morning, renters. Good morning, YouTubers, Facebookers. Good morning. You were giving people the impression that you were selfless and you were Mother Teresa, Scammer Faye. Now, what's shocking about this is that you took all these monies and you wanted to remain anonymous. Kind of strange. Why would you I think the public, it's in the best interest of the public to know who you are, Scammer Faye. Am I wrong? By a share of hearts and likes. Guys, am I wrong that Tammy Faye, it's in the best interest of the public to know who Tammy Faye is? Isn't it the best interest of the public to know who is Tammy Faye? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it in the best interest of the public to know who is Scammer Faye? Tell me, guys. Isn't it in our best interest as the viewing, contributing, listening public to know who you're sending your money to, who we're sending our money to, where it's going, right? Tall one, let me read the comments. Virtuous TV said, Tina, I am not new on social media, but I'm new to the Jamaican community on social media. So I sit and watch and learn the history. And as I learn, my eyes is bewildered. What nationality are you, Virtuous, if you don't mind me asking? What is your nationality? What is your nationality? because I like to include everybody in what's going on. I like to break things down for those of you who don't understand. So virtuous, especially. If you have a question about anything, don't be hesitant to ask me. Right? Don't be hesitant to ask me who, what, when, where, because trust me, I have the answers for you. And if I don't have the answers, I'm sure a lot of my followers who have been following me for a number of years, they will have the answer too. Right? This person, Scamma Fay, wants to sit in the dark, sit under the cover of anonymity, and collect thousands and thousands of dollars. The only thing you hear is her voice. Yes, a very sneaky, conniving woman. Boy. 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 Yeah? Boy. Right? It's not like the UK has like, the UK is not Jamaica. I can understand if the UK is Jamaica, you know, where you have to protect your identity or something like that because you're afraid that people will rob you, kill you, you know. But she's in the UK. So why are you hiding? You don't, based on what we know, you don't visit Jamaica. So you wouldn't have to worry about anybody kidnapping you once you visit there. You've never been down to your auntie's sidewalk before. Okay. Oh, you grew up in the USA. You've never been down to 99 before. So what are you hiding? Well, what are you hiding? Look at me. I'm beautiful. Even if you're unattractive, why are you hiding? What's there to hide about? Right? Why are you hiding? You want to sit under the cover of anonymity, but want privacy? Does that sound about right? Nah. So one of the reasons why I am redoing this live is because a month ago I was drawn to a very public post on social media by a blogger who goes by the name of Chabongo. And like always, I'm there minding my business, and it's just always something. Guys, like up the live as you're coming in. It's just always something, right? I am there just scrolling, you know. The funniest thing about it, I always find things out when I'm not looking. It's not like I go searching for things. It just falls in my lap. I guess it's just the universe and how God doesn't play about me. God does not play about me. Because things just fall into my lap and I don't have to go searching. I don't have to go digging. Nothing like that. I don't have to hire no bloggers to do any dirty work for me. I don't have to pay anybody. It just happens. So one day, while I was just busy minding my business, I'm scrolling. And as I'm scrolling, I see Chabonga on. I normally review people's content. I normally try to sit there and listen and just like, okay, you know, I listen to a lot of people on here, right? Chabonga being one of them. So while I was sitting there in the audience listening, because I like to have respect for people's platform, believe it or not, I am not one of those people who gonna for myself in a people platform. I sit down and I listen. Sometimes I don't even go into the live. I just stay on the outside and I listen, right? But I'm there. And then I heard Chabongo speaking, and I heard her saying something like, she was in a private group of sorts. And while she was in the private group, they don't know that she's a part of the private group, right? It's a private, listen, get this. Guys, like up the live. Like up the live. Like up the live over here. I'm repeating it because I want it to be documented on YouTube, right? So if you're on Facebook and you heard it already, you can sign off and go on about your business, but I'm recording it for YouTube purposes, right? So I heard Chabonga said that she's she's a member of a private group. And while in the group, she realized that this group was created by Tammy Fay. Scammer Fay. Scammer Fay. I said, okay, scamma Fay. So the plankers, or what they want to call themselves, they have a private group, right? Nothing new, because we've always imagined that they had a private group. We just never had any proof, right? Because as much as their auntie is trying to say that she doesn't speak to people over the phone, her assistant, her best buddy, her guide, does have a private group. And in that private group, this is where they plan to do what they want to do. They plan to do their dirty deeds to others in this private group. And guess who owns the group? Guess who runs the group? Tammy Fay. Now, I was a bit shocked when I found this out, because Tammy Fay, she isn't on my radar at all. I'm talking about, I never talk about her. Like, she's not somebody that was ever on my mind. Like, somebody I knew of her, but I didn't talk about her because she's never, I don't care for her like that. And they have several groups, Stall One. They have several groups where they come together and they plot and plan and they collect money. Oh yes, that Tall One. There is a group, I don't know if it's a different group, but there's a group where she owns the UK Plankers. She runs the UK Plankers group. And then she collects monies. She gathers them together in that group, collects monies, and then sends it on, take what she can take out of it, and then sends it on to Jamaica. So she does have a group where she collects money. Yes, that's true. I have seen it before in the past. Right? No lies told. Where she collects money, she gathers all of these those elderly people, and she exploits these elderly people, these empty nesters. She gets them together and she gathers money for some causes and then sends it to Jamaica to give it to her auntie. But she's the main point, the main contact here in the UK, right? Now, going back to that group. So there's a group that is run by Tammy Fay. And in this group, like I said, they plan their little dirty deeds, what they're going to do to somebody, when next, so on and so forth. On that particular day, it just so happened that I became the topic of conversation in that group. What they didn't know was that there was someone sitting in that group. Someone sitting in that group listening to their plans, listening to their devious plans to do what they want to people for no reason. And this is how dangerous these groups are, because they can plan unaliving you in that group. They could plan doing other damage to your life in these groups. And it is led by Tammy Fay. Now, Tammy Fay, that day when she said what she said, her main plan was to write, listen to this, guys. Her main plan was to write to immigration authorities. That was her plan. Her plan was to write to immigration authorities about me. UK authorities. That's what they were planning that day in that group. Unprovoked. Let me point that out. Unprovoked. I didn't speak about Tammy Fay before that. So, which is why it was shocking when I heard it. Unprovoked, Tammy Fay had plans for me. She had plans for me. And her plan was to write or contact UK immigration authorities to stop me from coming to the UK. Like up the live, guys. This was just a month ago. 1 month or 2 months ago. Yeah. To stop me from coming to the UK. Unprovoked. That was her plan. And that, yeah. That's what they were planning to do. Right, Tammy Fay? That's what you were planning to do. I don't know her from nowhere. Like up the live, guys. Click the thumbs up button. I do not know Scamma Fay from a damn where. She was never on my radar. But the intel was released on social media. And it just so happened that day I was sitting down listening to somebody's live and heard it. I heard it. So you have to understand my shock when I heard that shit, right? I said to myself, why? I had questions. Why? Why? Those were my questions. Why? Why would you want to do this to me? I don't know you from nowhere, girlfriend. But that was her plan. And do you know why it was her plan? It was her plan because, according to her, from what I get to understand, I visited the UK in January. I visited England in January. Where I went was Manchester, UK. Manchester, England. By flight, it's roughly an hour by flight out of London, outside of London. It's in the suburbs, outside of London, right? I think by train or by car, it's 4 hours, something of that sort. By flight, it's about an hour from London. But I flew in directly from New York into, directly into Manchester, England. And why I went to England was because I had a cake decorating class there in England. So I was there for a good 4 or 5 days. A cake decorating class in England. That's what I went there for. Cake decorating class. When I went to England, I was not thinking about Tammy Fay. She's like I said, she's of no, I don't care for her. She's not somebody I'm interested in. I don't talk about her. I don't think about her, nothing. Went to England, did my cake decorating class in January, had an awesome experience because I've never been to the UK before. So it was an awesome sightseeing, historic type of, visit. Right? Came home happy that I learned what I learned, continued running my business, not thinking about anything, only to find out a month or so later that Tammy Fay had a group or have a group, and inside that group, she is planning to write to UK authorities to not let me back into the country. Now, Tammy Fay, I didn't understand why, right? I didn't understand why you were you said that you were going to call. I didn't understand why you were going to call immigration on me. It just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. At the time, it just sounded so vindictive of you to do it. But later on, we're talking and everybody talking about it in social media. We found out that you lived in Manchester, UK. You lived in Manchester. So apparently, living in Manchester made you uncomfortable that I was there. You living in Manchester, UK, or wherever in the UK you live, made you uncomfortable that I was there. That's what you said. You are uncomfortable. You don't feel comfortable with me coming to the UK because I'm assuming that's you lived in Manchester. Because England is huge. It's humongous. Why would you feel uncomfortable with me coming to the UK? Have I ever come on here and expressed any interest in wanting to know you or where you live? No. It doesn't interest me where you live or anything like that. I don't care. I could give two craps. You're not a person of interest to me. You're a nobody, honestly. But I'm making this live just for record. So why would you feel intimidated by my visit to the UK? But you did. But what I also realized is one of the reasons why you were so perturbed about my visit to the UK is because your dear auntie, your good friend, she cannot go back to England from what I heard. I don't know if it's true. And maybe that fact is what's getting you upset because you guys have some juvenile minds. Yeah. Right, Tammy Fay? Y'all have some very juvenile minds. Whatever your auntie can't do, nobody else should do it. That's the delusion in your heads. You feel like the world revolves around your auntie. So just because your auntie cannot go back to England or has not been to England, I don't know, recently, over the past few years, you want to make it so that I cannot go to England. So you want to write to the UK government for me to not come back to England. I'm so happy that, no disrespect to the UK, right? No disrespect. But I'm so happy that it is not really a country that I hunger to visit often, if that makes sense. Like, I am not just like, oh my God, I want to go to the UK. Oh my God, I want to go lay on the beaches. Oh, I want to go eat the good food in the UK. They had this great fish dinner and I want to go back. Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait to get back. I am so happy it's not that type of country. Because if you do write a letter to them and you happen to succeed, I would have been really disappointed to know you would have succeeded at something like that if it was a country that I was hungry to go back to. But it's not. Like up the live, guys. Like up the live. Hi, Carrie. I don't know if you're still here. If it was a country I was hungry to go back to, but it's not. Right, Tammy Fay? So write away, darling. Write. Scribble away. Scribble away. Maybe in my lifetime, I'll go back once or twice. But thank God, the UK, as beautiful as that country is with the historical buildings and the Queen and, Buckingham Palace and all of these great things there, it's not a country that I yearn to visit on a regular basis. Like, yeah. So I don't understand why you would feel any discomfort with me going there. But hey, it is what it is. I guess you're bored there in England. You want something to do. So you feel like you want to write a letter or whatever. What about your job, Tammy Fay? You quit your job? You don't have a job? Did you ever have a job? Or was it the elderly's money you were more dependent on? Did you ever have a job? No? Because you have a awful amount of time on your hands, Tammy Fay, to be the defender of 99 as an adult, right? You don't have any kids. I don't think you have any kids, which it doesn't matter really. But I'm just saying, where's your life, your responsibilities that would pretty much deter you from doing such nonsense? And then people have the audacity to say that I am obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with their auntie. Do you hear? Do you see me writing any letters anywhere to stop people from coming anywhere? Hell no. I could give two shits who, where goes, what. I don't care. I really don't care. Denise says, what a piece of audacity for them things that someone. I should pay my big expense because flying to the UK is not cheap. So I should spend my money, sit on a plane for 9 hours, 8 hours going, no, 7 hours going and 7.5 or 8 hours coming back. Because I stopped in Dublin, Ireland. And from Ireland, it's the flight is about 7.5, 8 hours. Right? So I should spend all that time to come look for you? Are you delusional, bitch? You must be fucking crazy. You must be living in a delusional state of mind, bitch. You are not that important to me. Please, bitch. Please. Please. What are we gonna do? Mm? Why would I be interested in coming to see you? What are we gonna talk about? We have nothing in common. We absolutely have nothing in common. What are we gonna talk about? So this is how I started speaking about Tammy on my platform within the last couple of weeks. This is where it's coming from. Just to give you a history. So I don't want you guys to come in here thinking that, oh my God, she's talking about Tammy Fay. Tammy Fay never troubled nobody. Yes, she does. She's just doing it behind the scenes, and she was caught doing it. Caught red-handed doing her nonsense. One thing I gotta be happy about, I'm happy about the fact that I am a US citizen. I'm so happy. Because I can only imagine what these devious, devil-hearted social media trannies would do if I was not. Can you just imagine? Especially in these serious times now where immigration is a thing. Just imagine, because if I am a US citizen and her, Tammy, and Dundus, and the wall of them are so interested in wanting me deported with my US citizenship, they just want me deported because they're in their feelings. They want to overstep the government's role, and they want to make a decision to get me deported. These are or Jamaicans or people or black people want to get me deported because they're in their feelings about me. They're in their feelings. They have no other reason. They're just in their feelings. Yeah. And she's always in the comments over there on 99 Lives insulting people. Insulting people. You think she likes 99? Hell no, she doesn't. She laughs at her all the time. She laughs at her ignorance. But listen, the reason why Tammy Fay didn't try attaching herself to me, because I'm too headstrong. She can't control me. She likes somebody she can control. And that's 99. She can't control 99. She can't go in a 99 and I say, you know, something think you should do this. That's what she loves. She loves to do those things. Yes, man. So she cannot control me. Good morning, Sunny. Good morning. Yeah. So this is why she never attached herself to me, but she attached herself to 99. And for whatever reason, like I said, Tammy was that person who, I think she tried to attach herself to Gully Bop too, if I'm not lying. Yes, man. She's a dog. Tammy Fay a drunk right now. A long time she about. I don't know. Tammy Fay about. Me just say I couldn't know so Tammy Fay a drunk girl. Don't auntie. And auntie this and auntie that. She is a drunk girl. Don't be fooled. A dirty gal. Dirty gal. A dirty gal. So when you see me come on live and a nasty her up, so don't feel sorry for her. Remember, with the whole of we are Jamaicans at the end of the day. Right? The whole of we are Jamaicans. So as saucy Jamaicans, you know we're gonna come out and we're gonna say the words them. And we're gonna speak up for ourselves. And we're gonna cuss and we're gonna go on bad. But that should not take away from, if you know our characters, if you know our personalities, don't take away from that. Right? Because some people forget done. And Tammy Fay is one of those people. She forget done. She forget done. Right? Done. Yeah. Anybody, like Tall One said, if you're over on my YouTube channel, that's the YouTube channel right there. You can come on over. Anybody who does not bow down to 99, Tammy Fay attacks them. And she is the brain of the scamming. She's the brain. She sits there when she goes to bed at nights and she plot what her next move will be. Tammy Fay, very much the brain of the movements when it comes on to 99. She plots the next move. She plots, and we're going to do this next time. She's the one behind everything. I guarantee right now, if Scotland Yard bust our house and take our phone and dig through things, them are going to find a lot of bones. You notice how long she's been around and nobody has nothing to say? Yeah, because she's a nobody. Yeah, tell me say nobody no know her? You don't think that's funny? Nobody no know her at all? Think about it. Nobody no know her. You've never seen her in Jamaica. You've never seen her embracing the culture, as a part of the whole content thing. The only way she embraces Jamaica is by taking off pictures off YouTube, reposting it to her Facebook page, to make it look like she's all about Jamaica. That bitch has never taken a trip to the white sands of Jamaica. She has never scooted her Monroyal Ross down to Elsha and spent some money, some of the scamming money, with the vendors down there at Elsha. She has never taken her scamming Ross cloth and go to Duns River Falls, go climb the falls. However, these people entrust her. Make it make sense? And she keeps reposting Jamaican things like she's so embracing Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica. She has never taken her ranking batty hole and go rinse it out in any Jamaican beach. And y'all entrust somebody like her? Really? But y'all want to try and get me deported after I've traveled everywhere I want to freely. Y'all don't even know if Scammer Faye got docs. For all you know, she's in England. Like, okay. And she goes to Europe next door every now and then. Y'all don't even know. Have you ever seen any of her family members? You've ever seen an aunt and uncle? Have you ever seen her at Christmas dinner? A human being. You doing human things. Have you ever seen her doing human things? Right? Have you ever seen her sitting down and trying to embrace Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day? No. No, she sits behind her computers and she gets pictures off Google and she goes, "Oh, look at that. Oh, Jamaica is so beautiful. Oh, this mango is so sexy. Oh, look at these delicious crabs. Oh, look at these delicious mangoes. Oh, look at these juicy sugar canes." These are all pictures that she stole from Google, reposting it. Hello. Look past the soft spoken, well, that's not how you do it, Donna. That's not. Look past all of that bullshit. Peel her layers away like a banana. Peel it away. Peel it all away. You know what I think? I think she is one of those people in the UK who are just like hanging out. She's just hanging out in the UK, just hanging out. Right? Just hanging out there like, I'm just there wasting taxpayers' dollars. Look around in Tammy Fay's surroundings. The minimalistic lifestyle that she lives. Go take a look at her page and look at the minimalistic lifestyle lived by Tammy Fay. Go and look. Her little kettle, her little 99-cent kettle, little 99-cent kettle. Her little 99-cent toaster. Her little 99-cent toaster. Her little dollar store hot water heater. And there's a reason why I'm saying dollar store. I'm saying dollar store because they look what? Cheap. Cheap. Keyword here, cheap. Her kitchen looks like somebody barely making it. Yeah. Her kitchen looks like somebody barely making it. Her toaster looks like something she's had since she was a teenager. Her juicer looks like something she's had since it came out. Since juicers were invented. That's what her juicer looks like. Something that she had since it was invented. That's what. Go look at her kitchen counter. Go look. I didn't even take a picture of her kitchen counter. If I had taken a picture of her kitchen counter, I would have showed you. Very minimalistic. And I told you before, I saw a picture of her living room area. It's so sad I can't find the picture, but I'm going to find it. I am going to find it, Tammy Fay. I am going to dig through my iCloud and look for your boy picture when you were a boy. You remember when Beyonce came out with, If I Were a Boy? I found that picture a few months before Beyonce came out for that song, with that song. So if you know that song, If I Were a Boy, and the whole, yeah. I found her picture maybe a year before that song was released. Because I remember singing that song and trolling her back then. It sounds like her place is a front. What do you mean, darling? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Her place is so, and you know why it's kind of funny, guys? It's funny because her friend always comes out here and tell people that they're stagnant. It's just funny to me. But yet, here is Tammy Fay with a toaster from 1995. Look like fear toaster. She not dash or nothing, you know. Look like she keep it till all of the metal inside of the toaster burn out. You know them type of people there? Where rat and cockroach full up. She don't need to change it because it's shit. It ain't broken. I ain't changing it. That type of thing. She had it since 1995. She had it from 1995. And I told you, when she put up her living room, I was shocked. This was before the whole stagnant talk came out. Because remember, the stagnant talk came out back in 2024. No, the stagnant talk came out in 23. This was when Miss Lady She started acquiring a lot of money from the donors and stuff like that. So this is when they all came out with that stagnant talk, 2022, 2023. Prior to that, there was no stagnant talk because they were still poor, accumulating what they can. So there was no talk about stagnancy is whose portion or nothing like that, right? So Tammy Fay now was stagnant, and she still is all them years, because I'm almost sure I've been seeing that same kitchen now for the past 5 years. The same appliances, the same shit. And when she takes her picture, Tammy Fay, I heard that you're not in a wheelchair. But why are your pictures so low? Your pictures are low. Like you're stooping and taking your pictures. You're like, I've never seen you hold up a glass like, yeah, this is my cupboard. Cheers to my cupboard. Cheers to my ceiling. Cheers to the wall cheers to the corner that's way up there. No. Her cheers is down here. right? Her place is giving me shelter vibes. You know, like when you're in a shelter. Her place is giving me that vibe. But it's been around for a long time. She hasn't upgraded since. Right, Tammy Fay? You're living a very minimalistic life in comparison to a lot of people, right? And I remember seeing her living room, and her living room was so basic. I mean, she had in one of those, you know, those burgundy industrial carpets? Those burgundy industrial carpets. She had it in her living room. No little pretty feminine rugs, no little pretty nothing. Just an industrial burgundy carpet with a little piece of chair and a little TV. She has an apartment of a sociopath. No little pretty curtains with no little daffodils on it, no little frills. She has the apartment of a sociopath. Oh yes, just empty. Like a church carpet little, yeah, she has a church carpet. I'm going to find it. I'm going to dig through my iCloud and look for it. Yes. So, exactly. So when I heard that she's not disabled, but I saw a picture of her standing up. So I'm wondering if she walks with a walking stick. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just troubled by that. You know, I'm really troubled by that. She could walk with a walking stick. Who is to know? You know, walk with a walking stick, you know. Sociopathic bitch. That's what you are. Oh, you feel threatened by me coming to the UK. Who the frig is you, bitch? Who are you? Of all the great sights to see in the UK, I would want to come to you? Who the fuck is you? You kind of delusional, bitch. Hell no. You delusional, ugly boy, tomboy, looking. That's what I used to call her. I see her lip here. I don't have enough lip to do it. Her lip is like, and it's proud out all over our face. Like up the live, guys. Likes is for free. Likes is for free. I believe so too. I think she's doing therapy to walk again or something of that nature. Just a lot of things. Exactly, Odette Bailey. The UK trip mad out all of them. Because remember, you know, them said me can't go to the UK. But this is why it's so important that you do not let anybody on here know anything you hold dearest to your heart. Don't come out here and tell none of them. Don't even to come out here and celebrate it. Don't come out here and celebrate it, because if you come out and celebrate it, you know what's going to happen? They're going to use it to their advantage. That's what they're going to do. Don't even come out and celebrate it. Sometimes some great things are happening in your lives, and you know, and you want to just come out, you know, you have good, you know, you're doing it because you're happy. You're genuinely happy. You want to share it to your, keep it to yourself. Right? Because this is not the environment for it. Okay. Now, if you know, I titled the live, Why the Lies? There's a reason for that. I titled the live, Why the Lies, because this has to do with pants mode, specifically for this live. Pants mode. I just touched on Tammy Fay for a brief second. This is for pants mode. Pants mode. You know what I got to thinking this morning over coffee while I had my coffee? Right? I hope you guys have had your coffee or tea. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about how pants mode, he doesn't have his priorities in order. Pants mode, you do not have your priorities in order. Right? You have hot chocolate, you go bubbles. Right? However, it was your thing regularly to come on here and frig with people. and you don't have your priorities in order. Make that make sense? Because I got to thinking this morning as I prepare for the show, I said, you're a business establishment. You're a food establishment. We're not done with Tommy yet. No, we're not done with Tommy yet, Talwan. I got to thinking how Pansmouth is a food establishment. Tina, you don't have enough lip to describe her. Go. Right? You are running a food establishment, right? You're not running it from your home. You're not running a cottage business, right? Where you're home. You're running a public food establishment. Of course, you don't prepare hot meals, but you prepare food. You would fall under that category. So as a food establishment that has a storefront, right? There's a responsibility you have to ensure that your papers are up to par and all of these other things are up to par, up to date, right? It's a responsibility. It's your responsibility as a business owner to ensure these things are up to date. Now, guys, think about it. Think about how irresponsible Broken Beth is for allowing 5 years to pass. 5 years. 5 years to pass. And not get an inspection done. A health inspection done. 5 years to pass. It's been more than 4 years. You don't like your customers. You do. If you had liked your customers, you wouldn't have waited until 5 years or 4 years, as you said, to get a health inspection done. And what surprises me about this is that you came out and you admitted it. Who does that? Who admits, which business owner on here in their right mind would admit that they never got a health inspection for 4 or 5 years? You admitted that? And you expected to fly over everybody's heads? You admitted that yesterday on your live. That you never had a health inspection done for years. Not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years. But you said 4, going on 5 years. 5 years. You haven't had a health inspection done? No, I remember back in 2021, 2022, when you started messing with me and I didn't know who you are, what you were about. Someone had sent me a picture of your first shop that you had that closed down for rats and roaches or whatever. They said, based on what I heard, the health department in the UK closed down that first shop because it was being ran. The operations was just terrible. And so the health inspectors had to come in and shut it down because you had rats and stuff in the display. So the UK health department had to go and shut down that shop. It was right on the corner. I don't know the UK like that, but based on where it was like at an intersection on a corner. And it was shut down for health violations. It was shut down. And so here you go now, fast forward, reopening another shop. And the same thing is happening to this other shop. Are you okay? What you say, Atlantic Road? Okay. Are you okay, Broken Beth? I asked that question because are you okay? This is like a sweatshop. You're not really running a business. And I've always said that your business is a facade. I've always said that because you come online and you have zero respect for your business and you have zero respect for your customers. You have no form of respect for your customers, period. None. Neither for your employees. You waited 4 or 5 years. I'm referring to the live you did yesterday morning. Apparently you said health inspectors came up into your business establishment and whatever, and it was from Facebook Live, that live that you did yesterday, right? Now, with that said, you went on further to say that you had to pay to get inspection and you didn't want to pay, which is why they didn't come to your shop. Are you okay? Are you okay, Broken Beth? Broken Beth said the reasons why he didn't get an inspection for 4 years is because he has to pay to get an inspection. Now, as somebody who kind of knows a little bit about the food industry, I've been working in the food industry now since I was maybe about 18 years old, right? Before I started running my own business, I was working as a manager, as a CSR, as a supervisor in the food industry for other companies. So I kind of, being in the management field, I have some understanding about, criterias, health inspections and stuff like that. Plus, I now own my own business. So I'm the perfect person to speak on this topic, right? We're not assuming anything here, okay? These are things that I know. If I need any clarification, I'll go on Google and do my research, right? Things I don't know, I don't speak on. I find out and we find out together, right? Because that's how we learn. All right. Charmaine, yes. This goes to show you how sick this man is. Like he just says shit to say shit. And he doesn't realize that the more he puts his foot inside his mouth, the more he makes it bad for himself. Because who as a business owner goes on live and says the reason why he doesn't want an health inspection done is because he had to pay for it. Make blood clot sense. Make it make sense. And you're admitting that on live, on a public platform. And then on the same live, he's going to say, people wickedy. You see, wickedness can done. What do you mean wickedness can done? You are the one who putting yourself in that situation. You are the one putting yourself in that situation because you're spilling you're exposing the incompetence of your business practices. That's what you're doing, exposing it, right? Because even if you had a inspection done yesterday and you know within yourself that you weren't doing what you were supposed to keep your business up to par, up to code, why would you come out and admit that? Why? That's crazy to me. Thank you, Ragamuffin. Thank you. So the business registered because they would automatically Oh, good question. Is Virtuous, you hear what Virtuous asked? You guys got to come on over to YouTube right there if you want to be a part of the conversation to see these very important questions that are being asked by my listeners. Come on over. There's the YouTube. Come and follow, subscribe. Come on over, Facebook. Come on over so you can be a part of the conversation because I'm going to end this live shortly, right? Virtuous. I'm now going to ask that question that you asked, Virtuous. Right? This is how this man, this business owner, keeps exposing himself over and over again without even realize. Does he not think before he speak? Do you not think? By the way, guys, my Cash App is Rum Cake Lab. Every time I see a ragamuffin tap me up, I have to remind myself. Cash App is Rum Cake Lab. $ Rum Cake Lab. Zelle is tinachincakes@gmail.com. Or they can't drop something in there now. So I can't contribute to my phone bill or something. Rum Cake Lab, $ Cash App, right? TinaChinCakes@gmail.com. That's the Zelle. When you can't give me a promissory note for tomorrow, come and know so tomorrow I pay you. Thank you in advance. Right? Right? Now, let's go back to Virtuous Woman TV's question. Because she asked a very important question. That's a common sense question. She asked, so, is the business even registered? Because they would automatically inspect and display the inspection result. Guys, here's a question. Like up the live. Virtuous is asking if the business is even registered. That's what Virtuous is asking. No, on the American side of things, all these people, they might be different. They're different agencies, right? They're different agencies. But there's a reason why you start at being registered. You start at registration, and then all the other agencies in relation to the industry that you're in would fall under that registration. All the other agencies, the health department, if you're in food, this, that, everything falls underneath. And they could go in the computer and say, you know what, your last inspection was so-and-so, right? This is why it's important as a food person. This is why it's so important as a food person for you to make sure that your business is traceable. Just in case anything happens to somebody, they can trace it back to your ingredients that you use, recalls, blah, 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 blah. So that means that a lot of you people who buy from Broken Beth, you're eating at risk. You are eating at risk. You're eating at risk. You know what that means? You don't say nyam anything. In short, you don't say nyam for nyam. Like the sister in Jamaica. You just say nyam for nyam. This is all now put on the health and on the stomach at risk. Uno a nyam for nyam because Broken Beth exposed to the crowd that he is not up to code with nothing, with anything. He is not up to code because as a food preparer, he's not doing what he needs to do to ensure that you guys are eating safe. $ Rum Cake Lab. Somebody type it for me. $ Rum Cake Lab. Rum Cake Lab. That's it. Thank you, Freddie. He is not, as a food preparer, he is not concerned about your food safety, what you consume, or anything like that. Because he is not up to code. He's not up to code. He is not up to code. That's some scary shit when you think about it. Thank you, Freddie. He's not up to code. These are the same people. Thank you, Natasha. These are the same people who come in here and come on this app and frig with everybody who is minding their friggin' business. You see what one trouble lead from? One trouble lead from one trouble to the next trouble to the next trouble. Because why? You won't leave people alone. I am sure if you had left people alone, all of these things between you and the young lady in Holland wouldn't have been exposed. If you would have just left people alone. And again, it goes back to accountability and changed behavior. Change behavior and accountability. Like up the live, guys. So it means that if your inspection is not current, what that also means is that the rest of your business documents aren't current either. They aren't current either. So you were just running a shell of a business, really. Hmm? You were just running a shell of a business. I don't care what you think, Pahara. You could kiss my big, sweet black ass. Good morning, Carrie. I don't care what you think. Right about now, Pahara, you're the only one who shows him empathy. I am not going to show him no damn empathy, bitch. You can go over there and sit in a corner of his shell bakery for all I care and help him eat the rats that are coming out of that manhole. Go help him eat the rats that are coming out of that manhole. For all I care, Joy Pahara. That's why some of you yam shit. Because uno don't hold these people accountable. That's why uno yam shit. And then we'll give you poison and shit for yam. And then uno have the audacity for come on here and call me nasty. The same individuals where I take them gloves and I dig out them nose hole with them gloves. And then use the same gloves and go back in your food with it. The same individual them, where I take the dirty bucket them off of the floor, the dirty bucket with a whole bunch of dirt round it and go shh. Pick up things off a floor. I use the same gloves where them use and pick up things off a floor and go right back into the mixture. Like up the live, guys. Pansmo, Broken Beth, Chris. This means that your documents for your business, they are not up to code. You see how you expose yourself? You expose yourself by just talking too much. And then when you come out and say people, you blame me for shit. After you come out by your platform and put them things there out about your business. You understand me? After you come out by your platform and come out and blame people about your business, you are the one who sit there. You're the one who sit there and tell people your business. I love it when him talk. Because when me I listened to it yesterday, tall one, my mouth drop a ground. I said, mighty God. 4 years, going on 5 years, you know, do a inspection? So that means, this morning now, when I get up and I put my scruples them in order, I said, that means, you know, your paperwork them not in order then. Nothing for you not in order. You just run a patty shop. It's a patty shop you run. You run a patty shop. And then him say, him a pay for inspection. No. As someone in the food industry who has been in the food industry since I was 17, right? Right? Thank you, Carrie. Right? You see, this is why I only need for register for the business formation classes. I have been at this for a long time. If you want to start your business, if you want to learn how to bake, if you want to learn how to decorate your cakes, you need to reach out to me. Right? You also said that you had to pay for services, for inspections. Now, as someone who has been in the food industry, I can go back and think about stuff we had to pay for. And the things we had to pay for were, you know, when they come and do, what they call that, the pesticide, what them call the people them again, we come and, what you call it, for rodents. They come and do the rodent checks and they come and look for ants and flies and, you know, stuff like that. Those little things, those little rodent, pest control, right? That's what you pay for, right? As if you're running food establishments, you know you pay for pest control. Am I lying, guys? Because as much as you are supposed to do these things up to code to ensure that you have no pests in there, 1 and 2 sometimes probably would get through because That's life. And this is why people do stuff for pest control. You pay them. Sometimes, depending on how bad the situation is, you pay them to come maybe once a month. You pay them to come twice a month. Depending on how bad the situation is. You set traps for these pests because the health department do know about these things, you know. Yeah, the health department knows that these things happen. You pay for an exterminator. Thank you. Right? You think the health department don't know? Health inspectors know about these things. They know. They know about rats and flies and food. They know. It's nature. But it's gonna become a problem when it's very like it's too much. That's when they shut you down. When you can see the rats and stuff in your display, the cockroaches all over the place, that's when they shut you down. The fire department, special fire code, make sure your exits are up to code, stuff like that. You know, like Carrie said, some of my customers, Carrie said some of her customers are required to provide their pest control reports as well. Even my customers that sell paper goods. Yeah, because you do know, Carrie, that pests get into paper goods and all these other stuff, and they'll consume the cups, the paper, the plates, the forks. They'll run over your forks. So you don't necessarily have to be selling food to have pest control come to your establishment, right? It's not necessarily food. Sometimes it's paper, right? Because it's pests, it's flies, it's rats, it's when it's not that, it's mosquitoes, when it's not that, it's nature. So when you have health inspections, they know about these things. And they give you an opportunity to fix those things if it's not too bad. If it's really bad, they're gonna shut you down. Right? Lele said, my mom does it for mosquitoes. Yeah. Pest control. Right? They do these things. Good morning, Marcia, over there on Facebook. Good morning. Glad to see you. Right? So with that said, that means your business is not up to code with anything. You're not graded at all. Now, this is what you also exposed, Pan Smote. In case you guys are not listening. This is what he also exposed. He exposed that he has rats. He exposed he got rats. He exposed he got rats. Without even realizing he exposed he got rats. Now, remember when the young lady Kia from Amsterdam came out the other day and said something about somebody finding a rat dirty whining, and the rat broke off him neck and up on the scooper. Yeah? Yeah. Rats attacking rats. You remember when Kia said that? And the rats were dirty whining and keep big dancing in place. We laughed at it because we were like, it sounds funny. It was funny. But when you think about it, he exposed that he got a rat problem. How he exposed he got a rat problem? By saying that he has to pay to come for these inspections to take place. That's how he exposed he got a rat problem. He said he has to pay for these inspections to take place. Now, guys, are we stupid? We know you don't damn well pay for no damn inspection. You don't pay for no inspection here in America. And you don't pay for no inspection, Marcia, in the UK. You don't pay for no damn health inspection. Because the health inspectors are the health inspection agency or company or organization. It's from the government. It's from the government. It was created by the government. And it's something that they provide. They're working for the people, taxpayers' dollars. They're working for the people. And this is why you as a business got to pay taxes, because that money is recycled into other stuff. And if you had a health inspection, Sonny, yes, if he had a health inspection, he would have known that he has rats. Yes, unless you violate and they told you to clean it up. They give you time. Like, if it's not that bad though, Marcia, if it's bad, they'll shut you down immediately. But if it's not that bad, if they see a couple of rat droppings, you know, they will write it down and say, listen, you need to get an exterminator, you need to get a pest control something, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna look for, you know, but if it's really bad, Marcia, they will shut him down. You understand me? And if he, okay, let me read this out. His sister can help him out with some of those rat traps. She can send him some of her rat traps that she's using for the pigeons. When last was his food handler card renewed? Most handler cards are valid for 2 to 3 years. My handler card was valid for 5 years, right? And it wasn't a handler card. It's called a managerial card. It's managerial because he's running a store. As somebody running a business, he doesn't do the food handler. The food handler is the lower grade, right? He would get the upper grade because he's a manager. And then he would have to train his employees for the food handler. The employees are the ones who get the food handler. But in his case, he would get the managerial level of food handling, right? Yeah, he would be at the managerial level, right? Because he has employees, and these employees would have to train, I think, every 6 months or every year, right? To keep them up to code when it comes on to food handling, right? I don't know how long it lasts in the UK, but in the US, it's 5 years for the managers. For the employees, I think they have to do it once a year, or I think it might be different for every state for the employees, but the managerial one is every 5 years. That's the test I'm telling you about, where you do it and you it's very tricky. Not everybody's head is strong for that. Blah 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 blah, because they go into temperature control, they go into storage, they go into a lot of stuff. So your head, you know, you got to be like, you have to have some common sense in order to take that test there. You understand? You got to be witty. It can't just be anybody who takes it, right? But the food handler is pretty to the point, very easy. It's on the lower level. I remember a few years ago, the one in Jamaica showed you a food handler's permit, as if that's something to give her the okay to bake. She doesn't need the food handler's permit. She needs to go into the advanced training, because I see her doing stuff that's just crazy. That blows my mind. And she does it on camera. And this is somebody who is selling food. So she doesn't need a food handler. She needs to sit down and actually learn about food prep. Yes. She needs to learn about food prep. Right? She needs to learn about food prep. Right? You see how I'm able to go to these different, you see how I'm able to go to the Atlanta Carnival and I can go and put out my stall and sell. You see how I'm gonna put out my stall and sell? You can't just do that anywhere, you know. You have to have your documents up to code in order to do that. So as simple as you saw me going out to the Atlanta Carnival and going to all these fairs and putting up my stall and stuff, you know, yeah. You need they ask you and you have to submit it, right? When I worked in New York at the festival a couple of years ago, even though I had my managerial certificate in food, they didn't know. New York requires for you to sell that day, they require you to buy another permit for food before you can put out your stall at a fair. And they come around. This is how serious it is. You guys think this is some joke shit? In a real life, who do think I joke shit this hour? When me talk, when you not listen to me? you guys can get from somebody mishandling your food? Do you guys not realize how sick you can get from them things there? A serious thing, yeah? So this is why it was so shocking to me to discover that this man, whatever internet every day I frig with people, especially me, this man not up to code with nothing. It was shocking. The amount of things you can contract from eating bad foods. It's dangerous, you know. I've heard of people going into a coma because they ate bad foods. They go into a coma. Some people die. They get allergic reactions from these things. I see, hey, on not play with on the stomach. Okay, let me tell you how serious it is, right? When I go out there and I do my vending, and you see me put out my big yellow tent, TinaChinCakes.com, and people can come and line up. It looks good from the front, right? Oh no. Let me tell you something. You see, before we were allowed to even sell a cupcake or a slice of pudding, you know what happened? These inspectors, I think it was 3 or 4 of them that day. 3 or 4 of them that day, you had to put out your stuff. This is before the public came into the venue. Right? Before the public were allowed on the grounds of the venue and stuff like that, we had to get our stuff ready. And they walked around each food vendor in groups. Let me show you how serious, because a lot of you don't realize the seriousness of the shit that you're eating just for nothing. You're just eating it because it looks good on the internet. They walk around from tent to tent, inspecting your paperwork, inspecting if you're up to code. They're inspecting whatever it is that you did or what you paid. They're ensuring that you have these things in place. They're looking at the temperature of the food because they don't want anybody to get sick. That is how serious it is. Yeah, they walk around and they go from stall to stall to stall and they inspect you stall. It's like it was like a fast pace, one of those quick inspections. But if it was not important, they wouldn't have done it. So I'm showing you the seriousness of the chances that you're taking to eat shit from these people on social media. Okay? So the fact that he comes on here every day and annoys people and provoke people and is concerned about likes and shares and how many likes he got, you know. Same with Zabby's last year. They had to close a store and recall their lettuce because a few people were unalived and others were ill. Those foodborne diseases that you could get from foods could be something as simple as it being left out for a few hours, and before you know, microorganisms start growing in these stuff, bacteria. And before you know it, you share it to somebody and the person dead. That's your responsibility. So to know that this man never cared enough to protect you, the customer who buys from him, doesn't it make you wonder? And what also dawned on me is, I can't believe this is the same man who comes on social media and want to tell people say them stagnant. This is the same man we come past social media and tell me say me stagnant and me bitter and me broke and me this and me that. He never hesitates to put that out there. Oh, you're stagnant, you're this, you're that. Who is the stagnant one now? Who? Who is the stagnant one now? Hello? 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 Are you there? Who is the stagnant one now? It's all about themselves looking good on social media. But they are on a dirty shop. A dirty thinking shop. A dirty shop. And then you want to come on here and lay blame on me. Talking about I call immigration on you and your workers in your store. That's what you said. Me call immigration on you. You have had 4 to 5 years of stagnancy. 4 to 5 years of stagnancy in your business. But you're coming on here, stretching your neck, right? Tracy, of course. Cuss out them ras. You, right? Wanna see why I'm a brain and wrap up in this? Cause you crazy, dude? Are you okay? So you have had 4 years of stagnancy or more. 4 years of stagnancy. And instead of you focusing on your UK business and ensuring that your documents are in order, anything that's expired needs to be updated up to code. If you check your books for, because you have a special, you're supposed to have a special book for that. You're supposed to have a special file for that. Right? Because if you are registered with, if your paperwork is in place, let me tell you something to people. If Broken's Bet's paperwork was up to date with the government of the UK, if it was, he would have received notification. He would have received notification to update his health inspection. He would have received notification. I want to give you a little peek of something. He would have received notification. If he was, that means he is not getting notifications, important information. He's not getting these important information of what was recalled. He's not getting recall information. So God forbid, if he buys 6 dozen eggs from XYZ store, right? He buys 6 dozen eggs from XYZ store. And he takes it to his bakery. La, 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 la. I'm going to bake some cakes today. La, 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 la. And boom, guess what? If health inspectors discover that, wait, that brand of eggs that's being sold in XYZ store, that brand of eggs were recalled because of a bird flu. Just throwing something out there. You know, if the health inspectors realize that there's a certain brand of eggs that were recalled and they're being sold in XYZ store, you will not get that communication. You will not get that communication. And you know why you won't get that communication? To give you a heads up of these recalls from the health inspectors? You won't get it because you are not registered in their system. You're not registered in their system. You are not registered in their system. So, On any given day, I'm sitting here. I have my phone that's synced up with my email. I'm registered with the health department. So on any given day, I'm sitting here, guys. I will get an email from the health department, just a general email, an informational email stating, good afternoon, food providers. Just giving you something, for example. Good afternoon. The brand of flour in the blue bag, and the brand name is XYZ. It has been recalled for weebles or bugs or some shit. I'm just giving you something general. Me know, would know say, hey, wow, this is for me. I am not gonna buy that brand of flour because next, I don't want my customers to eat weeble or bugs. That means he's not getting these notifications. Him use cake mix a lot in our business. Suppose there's a brand of cake mix that's recalled. He is not hooked up to health inspectors so that health inspectors can email him and tell him, hey, do not buy this cake mix because it is being recalled. He doesn't get that information. So unknown to his many customers that he has, unknown to them, he goes, he makes all these great cakes. He puts all of these fondant and dot all over it. Right? And then sells this cake mix that's been recalled by the Department of Health. He sells this cake. Customer unknowingly buys the cake. La 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 la. Takes it to their celebratory event, wedding, birthday, whatever. Come on, guys, come, let's celebrate Tom's birthday. Ooh, beautiful cake. Oh, let me get a slice. The kids come on, honey. You want a piece of cake, honey? Sure. The kid come, Mom. You know what happens as a result of that? Like up the live, guys. You know what will happen? That little baby who had a slice of the cake that was so pretty with the lovely colored frosting on it, that little baby will eat that infected, whatever it is, with the bacteria in that cake mix, right? That little baby will eat that shit. And because his immune system is not strong enough to fight whatever bacteria it is that's inside of that cake mix, he dies. He dies. Tom, who has that cake, who had a nice chunky slice of that cake, his immune system might not be strong enough, even though he's an adult. His immune system might not be strong enough to fight off certain infections or illnesses and stuff like that. So guess what happens to him? His lungs shut down. Others might experience mild effects from it. They might have the runs. They might be defecating. They might be vomiting, because their immune system is much stronger than Tom's or the baby's. And this is why it is super important for someone like him to be up to code with health inspectors. And this is the same man who comes on here and tells me I am stagnant. This is the same man who comes on here and tells me to go get a storefront because I'm having purse. I'm having purse. I'm having purse. Look at this. I want to show you something. Right? Look at this. Hold on, guys. All right? Look at this. Oh boy, I can't clean it off. Let me clean it off. right? Look at this. What does it say? What does it say? What does this say to you? What does it say? Guys, you got to come on over to YouTube to see what I'm showing you. Right? What does it say? Dear New York City Department of Health, dear food service operators, the New York Health Department invites you to our first food safety workshop since COVID-19 pandemic, blah, blah, blah. During the workshop, you will gain valuable information tools to improve food safety in your establishment, receive an inspection history report. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. New York City Department of Health, right? New York City Department of Health, right? The New York City Department of Health. New York City Department of Health. That's for New York only. That's only for New York, right? Because remember, I am registered both in New York and New Jersey. That's where I'm registered, right? That's where I'm registered to do business. And so I get communications from both New York, and I also get communications from the state of New Jersey. So God forbid, whenever there are any notifications to go out, I get them straight to my business email attached to my business. Everything has to be updated. A professional athlete's son recently passed away overseas due to asphyxiation after eating. Sonny said, hearing him talk, you would think he's in the same league as Jamaica. Right? And that's New York. That's New York. Okay. New York. And I get these communications from both states. Oh, thank you, Faithful. I'm here to teach too, you know. I am not just here, right? I'm looking for the Department of Health. Oh, here it is. It's under a different name. It's not under what you think it's under, right? This is an old email. Oh, this is okay. I found this one. All right, let me just copy and paste because I don't want to expose certain things. Not on live. Okay. Okay. There are documents here showing you about recalls. All right, let me show you. As someone who is in the food industry, you get recall emails for everything. Even when it has nothing to do with food, you will get the notification. You'll get an emergency email. You know, it's an emergency, but it wouldn't apply to you if you're not in that industry. But you get, it's like an umbrella of, everything falls under the health department, the health inspection, everything. Even pools, they even go out and inspect pools. So the same health inspector who comes to your food establishment to inspect your place of business, your food, they actually inspect pools. When pools are about to be open for the summer, they have to go and inspect the pools to make sure they're up to safety codes. They also inspect hospitals. They inspect, it's not just food. It falls under that same umbrella of that state you're living in. In his case, it falls under Brixton, or I'm assuming whatever. You know, I don't know how they do it in England, but it should fall under that also. You understand what I'm saying? So, which means that he is not getting these emails because his documents aren't up to code. His documents aren't up to code. Okay, look at this. I can show you emails for days that I get. Let me show you something, guys. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Okay, look at that. Emails, look at that. What do you see? Recall. These are all recent too. Look at that. So you see, I'm not lying. I get these emails regularly. Okay, look at that. And look at the emails. I get emails for noodles, macaroni. Sorry, my battery's dying. I get emails for macaroni. And this is from my email box. So you know I'm not lying. See? See? It's an email box. So you know I'm not lying, right? I get emails for these every day. Even clothes, pet food, vegetables, fish, salads, chocolate, you know, soup, macaroni, cheese, recall. See that? Recall, Marion. Recall.